Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are here. We're live. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you can see and hear me clearly, please drop a 1 in the live chat, and then we can get today's stream started. As I'm waiting for the ones to come in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button, so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to inform your family and friends on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And as always, I'm going to beg you, please follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below, and it will be pinned in the comment section once this stream ends. And now that I see the ones are coming into the chat, let's get today's show started. Before we get into the state of Illinois and Governor J.B. Pritzker, I want to pull something up on the screen for you guys very quickly. This, what you're getting ready to see and listen to, is pure insanity. This is pure insanity. I'm going to blow this up bigger so that we can all see this together, right? New California Representative Katie Porter said this. I'm not going to read it all. She said this. California Representative Katie Porter said this.
Night, I went to pick up my daughter.
Let me rewind it back just a little bit.
So on election night, I went to pick up my daughter from water polo practice, and she's 12, and she got in the car and she was crying. And I said, did someone punch you? Like, water polo is a rough sport. I was like, did someone hit you? Did the coach yell at you? What happened? And she said, Mom, Trump won. Trump's going to win. And what if I get raped and I need to have an abortion?
Lord have mercy. I had to bleep the word out, but you know what she said. That's what a 12-year-old told you. Let me start that over again. This is insanity. This is insanity. These people, I can't say what I really want to say. I cannot say what I really want to say. When it comes to people's families, children, spouses, you all know me. I don't speak on people's family members, loved ones, spouses. A lot of people on YouTube like to do that. I don't play those games. I won't say much, but there needs to be some sort of investigation that goes on into that household, because that is insanity. That no 12-year-old is thinking about that, unless the parents and the adults in that 12-year-old's life is filling their head up with pure nonsense and garbage. I'm going to play that one more time, and then we're going to move on. This has nothing to do with the meat of the show, right, concerning Illinois and J.B. Pritzker, but I just had to share this with you guys because it's once again, I can't say what I really want to say. I can't say what I really want to say.
So on election night, I went to pick up my daughter from water polo practice, and she's 12, and she got in the car and she was crying. And I said, did someone punch you? Like, water polo is a rough sport. I was like, did someone hit you? Did the coach yell at you? What happened? And she said, Mom, Trump won. Trump's going to win. And what if I get raped and I need to have an abortion? This is from a 12-year-old, my 12-year-old daughter. And so it was really a reminder of how scary this time is for people, and how important it is for Democrats to have strategies, both at the state level and the federal level, to make sure that we can continue to protect people's rights.
There needs to be an investigation in that household concerning the well-being of that child. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. I see some of you are saying that she's lying. I wouldn't put it past her if she was lying. But at the same time, these people are so sick. They are really that sick that I can see her filling her child her child's mind with garbage like that. No 12-year-old is thinking about that. None. And any sensible parent, even me, my son is 11 years old. When he hears me talking about politics, sometimes he's sitting, I'm in the office. Sometimes he'll be over here. He's not here now, but I have like a little arcade machine, that's right there. Sometimes he'll be sitting there playing the game while I'm going live, and he might listen in or whatever. I keep so much, I don't even talk crazy stuff on here. He'll be asking me certain things about what's going on with politics, Trump and Biden and Harris. And I'll just go, just play, just, when you get a little, just don't worry about all that right now. You try to preserve your children's innocence for as long as you can. You don't want to keep them blind to the world, right? My son's not blind to what's going on out here, but at the same time, I make it a point to just tell him sometimes, just go play right now. Don't even worry about it. Just go play right now. So the fact that allegedly her 12-year-old is coming home with thoughts like that in her mind. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on because it's crazy. This is crazy. What I want to do now is let's shift over to Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, right? Because he has joined the collection of DNC governors that have come out preemptively against Donald Trump in an adversarial manner, essentially letting him know and the rest of the country know up front that they will not cooperate or collaborate with Trump in any meaningful way to get their states and or cities on track and in order, right? They're not looking to work with him on any level, and they are planning to fight him every step of the way, no matter what changes he attempts to implement. Doesn't matter how good these changes are, what they will mean for the betterment of those states and or cities that are controlled by Democrats. They don't care. They're going to fight him every step of the way. We've seen Governor Newsom here in California come out against him, saying he's ready to fight Trump. Governor Hochul in New York said that she's ready to fight Trump. We have Governor Healey, I believe her name is Healey, of Massachusetts, who came out and said she's not going to cooperate with Trump on any level as it pertains to local law enforcement, coming to deport illegal immigrants. And now we have J.B. Pritzker, who recently came out and stated this.
Afternoon, Governor Pritzker promises Illinois will protect vulnerable communities as Trump returns to the White House.
Vulnerable communities are illegal immigrants. He's talking about illegal immigrants.
Political reporter Paris Schutz spoke with the governor today about this week's election. Paris?
Well, yeah, Sylvia, the governor's making his first appearance since Trump's victory. And by his statements, he says Illinois will continue to be part of the resistance if Trump's agenda becomes extreme.
Illinois will continue to be part of the resistance. That's very interesting rhetoric, because that very much so looks like what's happening. As I stated in the live stream prior, I believe it was on Friday, what we're seeing here right now, this isn't the usual Democrat versus Republican cat and mouse game, right? The usual filibustering. This is something completely different. I think we can all feel that this is something different that's going on here. And as he used the language that now Governor Pritzker has joined the resistance, right, against Donald Trump, that's exactly what this looks like. This looks like some sort of resistance, right? This, because the way they speak on Trump, Pritzker, Newsom, Healey, I believe her name is in Massachusetts, and Kathy Hochul, Attorney General Letitia James, I've said this so many times over, they're speaking about him as if they're talking about some sort of foreign threat that they're getting ready to go to war with. So language is very important. It's very important to pay attention to the language and how people articulate themselves and the words that they're using. So I'm going to let it play from this duration forward. Let's hear what J.B. Pritzker had to say.
The governor's making his first appearance since Trump's victory, and by his statements, he says Illinois will continue to be part of the resistance if Trump's agenda becomes extreme. And he says he will be a, quote, happy warrior leading that resistance.
To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people. You come through me.
And a second.
You come for my people. You come through me. Once again, I have to continue to reiterate, he is not talking about the citizen population of Illinois. He is talking about the illegal immigrant population. If you come for my people, you come through me. A very strong message going out to Trump from JB Pritzker. This is a strong message essentially coming out from the resistance. And I think that's what we'll just call them now. We'll refer to these people as the resistance. Let's listen to a little bit more of this before we move forward.
Trump term could mean a lot of uncertainty.
Let me rewind it back just a little bit. Well, I'll let you hear it again.
Leading that resistance.
To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me.
And a second Trump term could mean a lot of uncertainty for Illinois and Chicago. Will the president-elect order mass deportations of Illinois' undocumented population, given that Illinois is a sanctuary state, meaning that local law enforcement can't cooperate with federal immigration authorities? Pritzker says that Illinois will remain a sanctuary state, and if the president retaliates by withholding federal public safety grants, he will take the president to court. There's also more at stake. With the president's promise to eliminate the federal Department of Education, school districts like CPS could lose federal funding, and the state relies on federal dollars for infrastructure. Pritzker says he's already making calls to make sure that federal spigot does not run dry.
I want you to look at Pritzker's body language as he's getting ready to articulate this point that was just highlighted by the news reporter. If you look at his body language, he actually looks quite concerned. Pritzker actually looks quite concerned and nervous as it pertains to possibly funds being withheld from the state, right? And I just find that interesting, and it's something that's worth pointing out. So check out his body language as he's speaking on this topic here.
Federal infrastructure dollars, again, are decided on an apolitical, non-political basis. That's how they're supposed to be decided. And indeed, we've, trust me, I've, contacted lots of people in the federal government that I know, elected officials or, appointed political officials, to make sure that they know what Illinois needs. And I can say, for certain that, the independence of those divisions of the agencies really are making the decisions.
But Trump has vowed to dismantle many of those agencies. As for lessons the Democratic Party needs to learn from Tuesday's surprising result, Pritzker says it's too early to tell. But he says down-ballot Democrats won many of their races here in Illinois, even in areas where Trump bested Harris. Now, coming up at 5, what the governor...
So that's enough of that. And let me know what you guys think. Once again, Pritzker, his body language and the way he was articulating himself when it came to the withholding of funds, he just seemed a little nervous. He's definitely, once again, making his phone calls, making rounds to see like, hey, can this guy really withhold funds from the state if I don't cooperate? He doesn't seem too confident that he'll be able to fight against that. He says that he will be able to, just like in the state of California, they're setting a lot of money aside to prepare to wage, to prepare to put up a lot of legal battles against Donald Trump. But once again, he just did not seem too confident in what he was saying at the very end, right then and there. But what we have to understand that's going on here, and this is a very good article that I'm going to pull up very quickly, that kind of helps to highlight this point that I'm getting ready to make. A lot of these guys, like Pritzker and Gavin Newsom, they're really just positioning themselves, right? They're repositioning themselves to run for president in 2028. That's what they're doing. This article is going to highlight this right now. A lot of people have been calling out Newsom for that. This article highlights that about JB Pritzker. That these guys are really just positioning themselves for the 2028 primary. And essentially, man, and it's so unfortunate, for the people that live in those states, which I'm one of them because I live in California, because these governors, their focus is not on actually governing. It's not on actually running the states properly so that the states can thrive, in which they would collaborate with Trump, as opposed to, having an adversarial an adversarial relationship with Trump. They're looking more to position themselves for the 2028 election and just for their own personal aspirations. They're looking out for their own personal aspirations versus looking out for the people that they're supposed to be governing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if the people keep voting for them to be in office and to remain in office, then I don't know. I guess that's what, people of Illinois and people of California and, New York, that's what they want. But once again, it's very unfortunate because I don't see how they thrive under a Trump administration when you have governors running the state that have effectively formed a union, right, against Trump. This article reads, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker launched Think Big America, a nonprofit focused on expanding access to abortion in states across the country. It's part of his broader mission of combating far-right extremism, like what I'm doing here on YouTube, right? This is far-right extremism that I'm engaging in. Think Big invested millions of dollars advocating for abortion ballot initiatives in 8 states. Of the 8 states, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Florida rejected the initiatives this cycle. People felt like their reproductive rights were under attack. And so there were a lot of people who showed up to vote around that issue. And I am proud to say the organization I founded, Think Big America, we won the vast majority of the referenda across the country that protected women's reproductive rights, Pritzker said. The article continues to read, millions were spent on Arizona's, Florida's, and Nevada's ballot initiatives. Thousands were spent on Montana's, Maryland's, South Dakota's, Nebraska, and Missouri's abortion initiatives. Illinois' Family Institute Executive Director David Smith said the pro-abortion movement is not an organic movement of ordinary women. And I think we all know that to be true. He would go on to say, and I quote, it's not organic. It doesn't come from the grassroots. It's all hyped up by fear-mongering it's all hyped up by fear mongers who claim state governments are going to take this right away from women when this is not true. Smith said I want to read that one more time. Let me read that again. He said, it's not organic. It doesn't come from the grassroots. It's all hyped up by fear mongers who claim state governments are going to take this right away from women when that is not true, said Smith. Smith said the flurry of referendums started in 2023 when Ohio passed its abortion referendum. George Soros, through a slew of dark money nonprofits, poured at least $16 million into getting the Ohio referendum passed. For Tuesday's election, 11 statewide ballot measures related to abortion were certified in Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New York, Nevada, and South Dakota. Smith said the spike in ballot measures isn't due to women seeking to secure their civil rights, but instead, it's because a rich man by the name of J.B. Pritzker wants to shore up left-wing voters prior to the 2028 Democratic primary. This man is putting all this effort forward in order for him to bolster up his chances to becoming the Democrat nominee in 2028. That's what all this is about. The article continues to read, I think that by being involved in all of these states and giving liberally, he is shoring up his credentials in the eyes of the far left-wing activists who might be influential in the primaries of early 2028, said Smith. So these guys are already gearing up for the 2028 election. That's what's happening with J.B. Pritzker. This is also what many people are suspecting is happening with Gavin Newsom. I'm not so sure about Kathy Hochul and Maura Healey in Massachusetts, if they're planning on running, but for sure, J.B. Pritzker and Newsom are. And once again, like I stated earlier, it's a shame because as so many people are looking to, if I may take a quote from Kamala Harris, turn the page, right? As so many people are looking to turn the page, you have these DNC governors that aren't interested in turning any page. They're interested in keeping things exactly the way that they are, horrible, which they have been under the Harris-Biden administration. And if anything, they're actually looking to make things worse. And if you live in these respective states, you can expect things to get worse, not better, because at the end of the day, none of them are looking to collaborate on any meaningful level with Trump. They have all taken an adversarial stance. They have all formed a union, essentially, to go up against Trump. Okay. And with all that being said, that does it for today's stream. The key to doing a relatively short stream is by making sure you don't say ahead of time, this is going to be a short one. That's how you curse yourself. Okay. So we knocked this one out in 20 minutes. I want to thank you all for joining me today on a Sunday. Let me read off these super chats. But if you're going to leave, please hit the like button on your way out. If you're not going to stick around for the super chat, love, hit the like button on your way out. And please follow me on Telegram. That's really important. If you have a Telegram, please follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. Please do that. The link is in the description box below and will be pinned in the comment section after the stream is over. That is extremely important to circumvent shadow banning and, oh, I don't get your notifications and things of that nature. Shout out to Cynthia Haynes, who said, hey, brother, I am at work, but why would that woman repeat what her daughter said on national TV? That's ridiculous. Love you. Because all these people know how to do is engage in fear mongering, like the gentleman stated in the article that I just read. They don't know how to operate in any other fashion. Despite the fact that fear mongering did not work in this year's election, and the DNC, Kamala Harris, they failed miserably. They don't know any other way of operating other than through fear mongering. That's the only reason that she would say something that ridiculous and embarrassing concerning her 12-year-old daughter. These people are insane, in my opinion. They are very much so insane, and their families need to be investigated for the well-being of their children, in my opinion. Shout out to my man Cutthroat Ra, who said he needs to do something about Tiffany, right? The Tiffany Henyard, I believe her name is, the mayor of Dalton. They're all corrupt, though, man. They're all corrupt. He's not going to do anything. Nobody's going to do anything about Tiffany unless the feds step in. Nothing's going to happen to her. No Illinois officials are going to do anything about that. You could forget about it. If you're expecting Governor Pritzker to do something about Tiffany, and you can forget about it. The whole state is corrupt. It's not just the city of Chicago. It's the whole state. Shout out to India GC for the super chat. I appreciate you. And then you ran it back one more time. You said Tiffany Henyard can be as corrupt and violate citizens, and he ignores that. He's disgusting. Exactly. He's completely, J.D. Pritzker is completely ignoring Tiffany Henyard. He's completely ignoring that because, once again, birds of a feather flock together. They're all corrupt. They're all disgusting. And they're all just essentially horrible people. And that is his people. Tiffany Henyard that's J.D. Pritzker's people, right? Outside of the illegal immigrants that he plans on protecting. But with all that being said, once again, that does it for today's show. A quick one, but a good one. Please share this out to your family and friends. Get this news out to them. Thank you all for joining me today. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like the channel on your way out. Hit the like button on your way out. And Telegram at TD Media Group. Follow me on Telegram. I will catch you guys later, man. Peace, and have a great Sunday afternoon or evening. Have a great one.